Chapter 1. The Power of Thought. Every achievement, every success, every great transformation in human history began with a simple thought. Your mind is not just a tool to imagine. It is a creative force capable of shaping your entire reality. Whatever you constantly think about, with faith and persistence, will eventually take form in your life. The world around you is nothing but a mirror of your inner world. Those who think of defeat, limitation, and fear inevitably attract circumstances that reflect those very thoughts. But those who think with certainty, faith, and desire create doors where others only see walls. To act as if everything always works out for you means to control your thoughts as if they were the raw material of your future, because that's exactly what they are. Your dominant thoughts shape your beliefs. Your beliefs shape your decisions. Your decisions shape your habits, and your habits shape your destiny. It all begins in the invisible world of thought. This is why you must guard your mind like a treasure. Be selective with the ideas you allow in, with the voices you listen to, and with the words you repeat, because each one of them becomes a seed planted in the fertile soil of your subconscious. If you want success, plant thoughts of success. If you want abundance, plant thoughts of abundance. If you want freedom, plant thoughts of freedom. Do not leave your mind unguarded, because the world is full of negativity, fear, and doubt. You must become the master of your own mental state. Remember this truth: what the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Chapter 2. Desire, the starting point of all achievement. Every great success begins with a burning desire. Not a wish, not a vague hope, but a desire so strong it refuses to accept defeat. Those who only wish for something live passively, waiting for life to change. But those who truly desire, with intensity, with determination, with certainty, set in motion an unstoppable force. Desire is the spark that ignites faith. It is the fire that fuels persistence. It is the engine that turns thoughts into actions and actions into results. To act as if everything always works out for you means to walk with that burning desire alive within you. Because when your desire is strong enough, nothing can stop you. Not failure, not criticism, not time. The secret is to transform your desire into a definite goal. It is not enough to say, "I want success." You must know exactly what you want, when you want it, and what you're willing to give in return. A clear and passionate desire becomes a command to your subconscious mind, and your subconscious, connected to infinite intelligence, begins to organize circumstances, people, and opportunities to make your goal real. Every fortune, every invention, every triumph in history was born in the heart of someone who refused to let their desire fade. So ask yourself now, what do I truly desire? Not what others expect of you. Not what society says you should want. What do you deep inside truly desire? Write it down. Define it. Feel it as if it were already yours, and act every day with the certainty that it is on its way. Because desire, when turned into faith and action, becomes destiny. Chapter 3. Faith. The power to turn desire into reality. Faith is the invisible force that transforms desire into its physical equivalent. Without faith, desire fades. With faith, desire becomes unstoppable. Faith is not blind hope. It is a state of certainty, a deep conviction that what you want is already on its way. It is thinking, speaking, and acting as if your goal were already accomplished. Your subconscious mind responds to faith. When you repeat your desire with confidence, with words charged with emotion, your subconscious accepts it as truth. And once it accepts it, it begins to manifest it through ideas, opportunities, and circumstances. This is why self-suggestion is so powerful. The words you repeat daily, especially when filled with emotion, program your subconscious. If you constantly affirm defeat, you will attract defeat. If you constantly affirm victory, you will attract victory. Acting as if everything always works out for you is the highest form of faith. It is living today as if tomorrow's success were already certain. It is walking with confidence, speaking with certainty, and persisting with joy. Faith is contagious. Others feel it in your presence, in your voice, in your actions. It attracts allies, opens doors, and multiplies your strength. Every person who has achieved greatness has had to believe before seeing. They had to walk with faith when others doubted. They had to persist when nothing seemed possible. And because they believed, they achieved. Feed your faith daily, through affirmations, through visualization, through gratitude in advance, because what you believe with feeling and persistence, you will eventually see. Chapter 4. Autosuggestion. The tool to reprogram the mind. Your subconscious mind does not distinguish between what is real and what is imagined with emotion. It accepts and executes what you repeat to it consistently. This is the secret of autosuggestion. Autosuggestion is the conscious act of feeding your subconscious with the thoughts, words, and images that you want to become your reality. Every time you affirm something with conviction, you are planting a seed, and your subconscious, connected to infinite intelligence, will make that seed grow. But beware, autosuggestion works both ways. If you repeat fear, doubt, and limitation, your subconscious will also accept them and create them in your life. That's why you must become the guardian of your words and thoughts. To act as if everything always works out for you is to practice autosuggestion with intention. It is to declare every day, I am successful, opportunities flow to me, everything conspires in my favor, and by repeating it with emotion, your subconscious will begin to accept it as truth. The key is consistency. Saying it once is not enough. You must repeat it daily, with feeling, with faith, until your subconscious is convinced. And once it is convinced, your behavior, your perception, and your results will align with that new belief. Every leader, every creator of wealth, every person who has transformed their life has used autosuggestion, consciously or unconsciously. They spoke of success before they saw it. They declared abundance before they had it. They affirmed victory before achieving it. So today, choose your words carefully, because every affirmation is a command to your subconscious. Speak with faith, speak with power, speak as if what you want were already yours, and soon it will be. Chapter 5. Specialized knowledge. The foundation of power. General knowledge, no matter how broad, rarely creates wealth or success. True power comes from specialized knowledge, focused, applied, and directed toward a definite purpose. Universities are full of people with general knowledge who never turn it into results. But history is full of examples of men and women who, with specialized knowledge and persistence, built fortunes and transformed the world. Specialized knowledge can be yours in two ways: by developing it personally or by surrounding yourself with those who already have it. You don't have to know everything, you just have to know how to organize and use the knowledge that leads you to your goal. Acting as if everything always works out for you means valuing knowledge as a tool of power. It means investing in learning what brings you closer to your vision and avoiding filling your mind with information that doesn't serve your purpose. The world pays generously for those who master a skill, solve a problem, or offer a unique value, but it pays little to those who are just average in everything. So ask yourself, what specialized knowledge do I need to achieve my definite goal? And then pursue it. Learn it, apply it, or build a team that complements your knowledge with theirs. Because power is not in knowing a little about everything. Power is in knowing deeply and applying strategically what takes you where you want to go. Chapter 6. Imagination. The workshop of the mind. Imagination is the place where all plans are created, where all dreams are designed before becoming reality. Everything man has ever achieved existed first in his imagination. There are two forms of imagination. Synthetic imagination, when you organize old concepts, ideas, or plans into new combinations. Creative imagination, when your mind connects with infinite intelligence and receives new ideas, flashes of inspiration, and original solutions. Both are essential. Synthetic imagination allows you to use what already exists. Creative imagination opens doors to what has never been seen before. Acting as if everything always works out for you is living with your imagination active. It is daring to visualize what you want as if it were already real, because what you imagine with emotion becomes a command for your subconscious mind. Every fortune, every invention, every innovation began in the workshop of imagination. Henry Ford imagined cars within everyone's reach. The Wright brothers imagined flying when the world said it was impossible. Every visionary first dared to imagine. Do not limit your imagination with logic or fear. Imagination is not about what is reasonable, but about what is possible. And in truth, nothing is impossible for a mind that believes and persists. Use your imagination daily. Visualize your goal as if it were already accomplished. Feel the joy, the freedom, the gratitude of having achieved it, because your subconscious, impressed by these images, will begin to create ways to make them real. Imagination is the workshop of the mind, and what you dare to create there you can bring into your life. Chapter 7. Organized planning. The crystallization of desire into action. A burning desire and faith are not enough on their own. To achieve success, you need a practical plan, because only through organized planning does desire become action, and action become results. Every achievement requires a clear path. Those who drift without a plan become victims of chance. Those who act with organized plans create their own luck. Organized planning means defining what you want, outlining the steps to achieve it, and adjusting as you move forward. The plan doesn't need to be perfect. It needs to be active, because you can correct a plan in motion, but you can't correct in action. Acting as if everything always works out for you is walking with a plan in hand, as if success were already guaranteed. It is making decisions with confidence, because you know where you are going, even if the whole path is not yet visible. No fortune, no empire, no great success was ever built without planning. But remember, no plan works without persistence. Many abandon their plans at the first failure, not realizing that failure is only a signal to adjust, not to quit. Surround yourself with minds that complement yours. Build a team, a mastermind group, with whom you can organize better strategies, because two or more minds in harmony are more powerful than one working alone. So today, write your plan, define your steps, take the first action, and if it doesn't work, adjust and try again, because organized planning, combined with persistence, turns every desire into reality. Chapter 8. Decision. The mastery of procrastination. One of the greatest weaknesses of most people is the habit of postponing decisions. Indecision kills more dreams than failure ever could. Successful people decide quickly and change slowly. If ever, those who fail decide slowly and change their decisions often. The difference lies in confidence and clarity of purpose. Every opportunity comes disguised in uncertainty. If you wait until everything is clear and risk-free, you'll wait forever. Decisiveness is the mark of leaders, creators, and winners. Acting as if everything always works out for you means deciding with firmness, as if the outcome were already assured. It means refusing to let fear or the opinions of others control your choices. Procrastination feeds on doubt. Each time you delay, you weaken your will. But every time you decide and act, you strengthen your character and your power. Remember, not deciding is also a decision, one that leaves your future in the hands of chance. Train yourself to decide. Begin with small things, then move to greater ones, and each time decide with clarity, speed, and faith, because the world opens doors to those who know what they want and act accordingly. Your destiny is shaped not by chance, but by the decisions you make every day. So decide now to be decisive. Decide now to act with faith. Decide now to walk as if success were already yours. Chapter 9. Persistence. The power to keep going. Persistence is the backbone of success. Without it, even the brightest ideas and the strongest desires fade away. With it, mountains move, doors open, and dreams become reality. The author said it clearly: persistence is to character what carbon is to steel. Without persistence, your desire is fragile. With persistence, your desire becomes destiny. Most people quit when things get tough, just before the breakthrough. They underestimate the power of consistency. But those who act as if everything always works out keep going, even in silence, even when results don't appear yet. Every step taken in persistence sends a message to the universe: I am unshakable. And life eventually bends to that energy. Persistence is not stubbornness. It is conviction. It is the refusal to surrender to obstacles or temporary defeats. It is faith in action. Think of every great achievement in history. Behind it was someone who persisted one step longer than others were willing to. That is the secret. So persist. Persist when it's hard, when it's slow, when no one believes in you. Persist until what you imagine becomes visible. Because persistence transforms desire into reality and makes the impossible inevitable. Chapter 10. The mastermind, the power of collective intelligence. No one rises to greatness alone. Every extraordinary success is built on alliances, collaborations, and the combined strength of many minds. The principle of the mastermind is simple but profound. When two or more people come together with harmony and a shared purpose, they create a third invisible mind, a power greater than the sum of the individuals. This alliance multiplies creativity, courage, and resources. Ideas spark faster, confidence grows stronger, and obstacles that seemed impossible shrink in front of collective vision. Those who act as if everything always works out understand this law. They seek the right people, those who lift them up, those who believe in the mission, and together they create an environment where faith and action multiply. Look at every empire, invention, or movement that changed history. Behind it was a group aligned in thought and spirit, forming a mastermind that propelled them forward. The opposite is also true. Surround yourself with doubters, critics, and fearful people, and their energy will infect your vision. Your results will mirror their limitations. Choose wisely. Build your mastermind. Fill it with people who see possibilities, not problems. Because when minds unite in harmony, success becomes unstoppable. Chapter 11. The power of the subconscious mind. Your subconscious is the silent engine of your life. It never sleeps, it never stops, and it accepts as truth whatever you feed it repeatedly with emotion. Most people let fear, doubt, and negative thoughts program their subconscious, and then they wonder why failure keeps repeating. But those who act as if everything always works out consciously program their mind with certainty, faith, and vision. The subconscious doesn't distinguish between reality and imagination. If you imagine success with intensity, if you act as if it were already yours, your subconscious takes it as fact and begins to align your actions, emotions, and even external circumstances to match that belief. This is why auto-suggestion is so powerful. Every phrase you repeat, every image you hold, every decision you embody is planting seeds in your subconscious, and those seeds will grow whether you want them to or not. So plant wisely, speak to yourself with conviction, visualize the life you want until it feels inevitable, walk, talk, and decide from that inner identity. Because once your subconscious accepts something as true, it mobilizes your entire being and the universe itself to make it real. Chapter 12. The Power of the Brain. The human brain is both a receiver and a transmitter of thought. It is a station of energy, constantly sending out vibrations and picking up others. Few people understand the true magnitude of this fact. When you think with emotion and conviction, your brain broadcasts those thoughts into the universe. And like a magnet, it attracts vibrations of the same frequency. This is why acting as if everything always works out is so powerful. When your mind vibrates with certainty and success, you naturally attract people, ideas, and opportunities that align with that vibration. Your brain is not isolated. It connects with other minds, with the collective energy of humanity, and with the infinite intelligence that governs all things. The stronger your faith, the clearer your vision, the more powerful your broadcast becomes. But the opposite is also true. A brain dominated by fear and doubt broadcasts confusion and receives more of the same in return. You are the tuner. You decide the frequency. Choose thoughts of success, abundance, courage, and determination. Train your brain to dwell in those vibrations. Because when your brain is tuned to the right frequency, life itself begins to harmonize with your inner state. Chapter 13. The Sixth Sense. The door to infinite intelligence. Beyond reason, beyond logic, beyond the five physical senses, there exists a faculty that few cultivate: the sixth sense. It is that inner voice, that intuition, that sudden flash of clarity that guides you toward the right decision at the right moment. It is the channel through which infinite intelligence whispers to your subconscious mind. Every great leader, every genius, every visionary has relied on this sense. Even if they didn't fully understand it, they trusted their instincts when logic said otherwise. They followed inspiration when others only saw risk. Acting as if everything always works out for you is also trusting this inner guide. It is moving with confidence, knowing that even if you don't see the full path, something greater is directing your steps. The sixth sense is strengthened by faith, persistence, and practice. The more you listen to it, the clearer it becomes. The more you act on it, the more it reveals. Do not ignore those inner nudges, those feelings that seem irrational, but carry weight. Often they are the very keys that open doors logic could never unlock. Infinite intelligence is always speaking. The question is, are you listening? Chapter 14. Fear is the invisible enemy that paralyzes more dreams than failure itself. It disguises itself in excuses, doubts, and endless waiting. But at its core, fear is nothing more than faith turned upside down, faith in failure instead of faith in success. The 6 basic fears that dominate most people are fear of poverty, fear of criticism, fear of ill health, fear of loss of love, fear of old age, fear of death. These fears weaken the mind, cloud decision-making, and prevent people from taking action. Those who act as if everything always works out refuse to bow to fear. They recognize it, but they do not let it govern their choices. They replace fear with faith, doubt with determination, and hesitation with decisive action. Remember, fear grows in silence. The more you avoid it, the stronger it becomes. But when you face it, speak to it, and act despite it, fear dissolves. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to move forward in spite of it. And every act of courage increases your power and weakens fear's hold on you. So identify your fears. Write them down, look them in the eye, and then decide, I will no longer be ruled by fear. I choose faith. I choose action. I choose victory. Because fear cannot survive in the mind of someone who acts as if everything always works out. Chapter 15. The Power of the Unknown. What most people fear is not failure itself, but the unknown. They want guarantees before they move, certainty before they act, and security before they take risks. But success does not work that way. Every great leap requires stepping into the unknown. Every new chapter begins beyond the comfort zone. Those who wait for absolute clarity remain stuck where they are. Those who act as if everything always works out move forward, even without knowing every detail. The unknown is not your enemy. It is the field of infinite possibilities. It is the territory where new opportunities live, where new ideas are born, and where transformation becomes possible. When you trust and act despite not seeing the whole picture, you awaken forces that remain dormant for the hesitant. Doors open, allies appear, and solutions reveal themselves only after you have moved forward. Faith is tested in the unknown. It is there that you prove to yourself and to the universe that your vision is stronger than your doubts. So do not fear what you cannot see. Embrace it, walk into it with courage, with persistence, with certainty that life itself is conspiring in your favor. Because the unknown is not a void. It is a canvas, and you are the one who paints it with your thoughts, your words, and your actions. Chapter 16. The Power of Belief. Belief is the foundation of all creation. What you truly believe about yourself and about life becomes your reality. You don't get what you want, you get what you believe. If deep down you believe you are limited, unworthy, or incapable, your subconscious will find ways to confirm it. But if you believe you are capable, deserving, and destined for success, your subconscious will open doors where others see only walls. Belief shapes your attitude, your decisions, your actions, and your persistence. That is why two people with the same knowledge and the same opportunities can have completely different results, because one believes and the other doubts. Acting as if everything always works out for you is an act of belief. It is saying to yourself, I already am the person I want to be. My success is certain. My vision is inevitable. Belief is strengthened by repetition, by visualization, and by surrounding yourself with people who reinforce your faith instead of your fears. History has shown it again and again. Those who dared to believe when everyone else doubted became the ones who changed the world. So ask yourself, what do I truly believe about myself? And if your current beliefs do not serve you, replace them. Declare new truths, act in alignment with them, and persist until they become part of your identity. Because your beliefs are not just thoughts, they are laws that your subconscious will execute without question. Chapter 17. The Power of Words. Words are not just sounds, they are forces of creation. Every word you speak programs your subconscious and shapes the reality around you. Most people speak carelessly, repeating phrases of defeat, lack, and limitation. And then they wonder why life keeps giving them more of the same. Your subconscious listens to every word, and the universe responds to every vibration you release. Those who act as if everything always works out choose their words with intention. They speak in terms of victory, abundance, and possibility. They declare what they want, not what they fear. Say to yourself, I am capable, I am strong, Opportunities flow to me. Everything works in my favor. These affirmations are not empty phrases. They are commands to your subconscious. But beware, negative words carry power too. Each time you say, "I can't," or "it's too hard," you are planting seeds that will eventually grow into obstacles. Change your vocabulary, and you change your destiny. Surround yourself with uplifting language, read words that inspire, and speak as if your success were already guaranteed. Because words create worlds, and the words you choose today will determine the reality you live tomorrow. Chapter 18. The Power of Vision. Vision is the ability to see what does not yet exist. It is the mental picture of your future, painted so vividly in your imagination that it becomes inevitable. Without vision, people drift. They live day to day, reacting to circumstances instead of creating them. But with vision, every step has direction, and even obstacles become part of the path. Those who act as if everything always works out live with vision. They see themselves already successful, already abundant, already free. And because they hold that picture with faith, their subconscious and the universe align to bring it into reality. Vision must be clear, specific, and emotionally charged. A vague wish creates nothing, but a definite vision, felt as real, repeated daily, and acted upon consistently, becomes destiny. History proves it. Every invention, every movement, every achievement was first a vision in someone's mind. They saw it long before others could. So define your vision. Write it, visualize it, feel it, carry it with you as if it were already accomplished. Because in truth, the clearer your vision, the faster your reality will catch up to it. Vision is not just about the future, it is the seed of your present actions. And what you dare to see today, you will live tomorrow. Chapter 19. The Power of Habits. Your life is the sum of your daily habits. Success is never the result of a single act, but of repeated actions, small and consistent, accumulated over time. Habits shape your character, your thoughts, your emotions, and your results. If your habits are weak, your future will be weak. If your habits are strong, your future will be strong. Most people let habits form by accident, without realizing that every repeated action is programming their destiny. But those who act as if everything always works out consciously create habits that support their vision. Wake up with purpose, speak with faith, work with discipline, feed your mind with positivity, persist when others quit. These small habits lived daily build an unstoppable future. Changing a habit is not easy at first, but once it is established, it becomes automatic. And once success habits are automatic, success itself becomes inevitable. So ask yourself, what habits are shaping my life right now? Do they take me closer to my vision or further away? Decide today to replace habits of doubt, laziness, and fear with habits of faith, discipline, and action. Because every habit is a vote for the person you are becoming. And when your habits align with your vision, your destiny is guaranteed. Chapter 20. The Power of Discipline. Discipline is the bridge between desire and achievement. Without it, dreams remain fantasies. With it, even the most ambitious goals become inevitable. Discipline means doing what must be done, even when you don't feel like it. It is acting according to your vision, not your mood. Most people fail not because they lack knowledge or talent, but because they lack discipline. They give in to comfort, distraction, or excuses. But those who act as if everything always works out stay disciplined, even in silence, even without immediate rewards. Discipline repeated becomes habit, and habit creates character. The person you become is forged in the daily decisions to remain consistent. Remember, every act of discipline is an act of self-love. It is saying to yourself, I deserve my vision, and I will prove it with my actions. Chapter 21. The Power of Focus. In a world full of distractions, focus is rare, and therefore powerful. Your mind creates what it concentrates on. If you divide your attention among too many things, you dilute your power. Successful people understand this law. They focus on one definite goal until it becomes reality. Those who fail scatter their energy in 1,000 directions and never finish anything. Focus means saying no to what doesn't serve your vision. It means guarding your time, your energy, and your mind as treasures. Acting as if everything always works out for you is living with focus. It is refusing to waste energy on complaints, gossip, or fear, and dedicating yourself only to what builds your future. Where your attention goes, your energy flows, and where your energy flows, results grow. So choose carefully what you give your focus to, because that is the life you are creating. Chapter 22. The Power of Persistence in Action. Persistence is more than just endurance. It is action repeated with faith, even when results are not yet visible. Every failure is only temporary for the one who persists. Every obstacle becomes a stepping stone. The world eventually yields to those who refuse to quit. Most people give up at the first signs of difficulty, but those who act as if everything always works out keep moving forward. They know that persistence is the price of achievement. Persistence is the secret ingredient that transforms ordinary people into extraordinary successes. One more attempt, one more day, one more step, that is often the difference between defeat and victory. So keep acting, keep believing, keep persisting, because persistence in time makes success inevitable. Chapter 23. The Power of Faith in Action. Faith without action is only a dream. Action without faith is weak and fragile. But when faith and action unite, they create miracles. Faith gives you the certainty that what you seek is already yours. Action demonstrates that certainty in the physical world. Together they move mountains. Those who act as if everything always works out do not just believe, they act. They walk with the confidence of someone who already has the result, and their actions carry a power that the hesitant can never match. Every act of faith-filled action multiplies your opportunities. Life responds to the bold, to those who dare to move while others are waiting. So believe deeply, and then act boldly. Even a small step taken in faith is more powerful than 1,000 intentions without action. Because when you combine faith with action, nothing can stand in your way. Chapter 24. The Power of Gratitude. Gratitude is the multiplier of life. What you appreciate expands. What you take for granted fades. Most people wait to be grateful until their desires are fulfilled, but those who act as if everything always works out are grateful in advance. They thank before receiving, and by doing so, they align themselves with abundance. Gratitude changes your state instantly. It shifts your focus from what's missing to what's present, from lack to abundance, from fear to faith. Every morning, give thanks for what you already have and for what is on its way. Every night, give thanks for the opportunities, lessons, and victories of the day. Gratitude is not just courtesy, it is a creative force. When you vibrate gratitude, life gives you more reasons to be grateful. Chapter 25. The Power of Abundance. Abundance is not only measured in money, but in mindset. Poverty begins in thought, and so does wealth. Those who think in terms of scarcity see limits everywhere. They believe opportunities are few, resources are lacking, and success is reserved for others, and so they create a life of limitation. But those who think in terms of abundance see possibilities everywhere. They understand that the universe is infinite, that wealth is created, not taken, and that there is enough for everyone. Acting as if everything always works out for you is thinking abundantly. It is speaking, deciding, and acting as if resources, opportunities, and blessings were endless, because in truth they are. Abundance attracts abundance. Scarcity attracts scarcity. Choose wisely what you believe in, because life will reflect it back to you. Chapter 26. The key to everything: act as if. All of this philosophy, all of these principles, all of these laws can be summed up in one idea: act as if. Act as if everything is already working for you. Act as if you have already succeeded. Act as if your desire is already fulfilled. Because as if is the language of the subconscious, it is the secret code that turns thought into reality. When you act as if you are already wealthy, your mind begins to think like someone who creates wealth. When you act as if you are already confident, your body, words, and presence change. When you act as if you are already free, life starts reflecting freedom back to you. The error most people make is waiting. When I have the money, I'll feel prosperous. When I succeed, I'll feel confident. When I find love, I'll feel complete. But the law works the other way. You must first feel it, act it, and believe it. Then it comes. Acting as if is not fantasy. It is creation. It is not pretending. It is programming your subconscious through consistent behavior. So ask yourself today, in what area of my life do I need to act as if? And then start. Because the truth is, you can. Chapter 27. You are the creator. The greatest revelation you can have is this: you are the creator of your life, not a victim of circumstances, not a pawn of luck, not just a spectator. You are the architect, the builder, the sower, and the reaper of your destiny. Every thought is a seed, every emotion is water, every action is sunlight, and your present life is simply the harvest of past planting. If you don't like your harvest, don't blame the field. Change the seeds. Change your thoughts, beliefs, and actions. Acting as if everything always works out for you means recognizing your role as creator. It means refusing to hand your power to others, to luck, to the past. It is claiming full responsibility for the reflection that is your life. Excuses belong to victims. Responsibility belongs to creators. The creator doesn't wait for things to happen. He makes them happen. He doesn't wait for permission. He gives it to himself. And the truth is, you already have everything you need to create the life you desire. Faith, desire, persistence, imagination, discipline, and connection to infinite intelligence. So decide today, will you be a victim or a creator? Because your answer will shape your future. Chapter 28. Wealth is a state of mind. Wealth is not first about money. It is about mentality. It is an inner state, a frequency, a way of thinking and feeling that inevitably reflects outward. That is why many who win money quickly lose it. They never developed a wealth mindset. They changed their numbers, but not their consciousness. And eventually, their reality aligned again with their inner state. Poverty is also a state of mind. It is not about lacking resources, but about believing you cannot, that you don't deserve, that abundance is not for you. Those who think in scarcity repel opportunities. Those who think in abundance attract them. Life reflects the mindset you hold most deeply. Acting as if everything always works out for you is adopting the wealth mindset now. It is walking, talking, and deciding as someone who already lives in abundance. Not by spending recklessly, but by vibrating with the certainty that the universe is generous and you are part of that infinite flow. Wealth is not what you accumulate. It is what you become. Money is only a consequence. The true treasure is the person you forge when you discipline your mind to think in terms of possibilities, not limitations. Chapter 29. Freedom begins in your mind. Many believe freedom depends on money, time, or circumstances, but true freedom begins in the mind. There are wealthy people imprisoned by fear. There are people with time who are prisoners of doubt. And there are those who seem free outwardly, but live chained inwardly. Freedom is the ability to choose your thoughts, beliefs, and responses. It is saying, I am not a slave to my past, my fears, or the opinions of others. I choose my own path. Acting as if everything always works out is living in inner freedom first. It is walking as if no chains could hold you. It is speaking and deciding as someone who owns his life. The toughest prison is mental, but once you break it, no external walls can stop you. Freedom doesn't begin when the world changes. It begins when you do. Chapter 30. The Law of Attraction in Action. The law of attraction is not mysticism. It is resonance. You attract into your life what harmonizes with your dominant thoughts, constant emotions, and deep beliefs. Every thought you repeat is a vibration sent out. Every emotion you sustain is a signal your subconscious amplifies. And life responds by sending people, situations, and opportunities that match those frequencies. That is why you cannot expect different results while thinking and feeling the same way. The outside is always a mirror of the inside. The law of attraction responds not to occasional wishes but to rooted beliefs. If deep down you believe you are unworthy, you will reject opportunities unconsciously. But if you believe abundance is your destiny, doors open where others see only walls. Acting as if everything always works out for you is aligning your energy with what you want. It is living, speaking, and moving as though your desires are already real, and the universe has no choice but to respond to that conviction. But remember, attraction without action is illusion. Your behavior must confirm your vibration. Want wealth? Manage your life as if abundance were already here. Want love? Live as someone already complete. Want health? Behave as someone already vital. The law of attraction amplifies what you are, not just what you ask for. Chapter 31. Gratitude. The secret magnet. There is a force that multiplies everything you have and draws to you what you desire. Gratitude. Gratitude is not just politeness, it is a vibration of abundance. When you thank, you affirm that you have already received, and life gives you more reasons to thank. Most wait until their desires are fulfilled to feel grateful. But gratitude is not the result, it is the cause. Thank first and the results will come. Gratitude shifts your state instantly. You cannot be truly grateful and fearful at the same time. You cannot be grateful and in lack. Those who act as if everything always works out thank in advance. They celebrate victories before they are visible. They vibrate as if blessings were already on their way, and by doing so, they accelerate them. Make gratitude a daily ritual. Thank in the morning, at night, and for what is yet unseen, because gratitude is not just emotion, it is declaration. I already have it. I am already blessed. I am already abundant. And the universe always confirms the truth. Chapter 32. The invisible discipline. Most people want success, but few are willing to pay the real price. Discipline. Luck is rarely luck. It is the result of consistent habits maintained when motivation fades. Motivation is temporary. Discipline is lasting. Acting as if everything always works out means staying consistent, not just on the days you feel inspired, but especially when you don't, when no one is watching, when doubt whispers. That's where true success is built. Invisible discipline is what you practice in silence. No applause, no recognition, just commitment. Each repetition, each small act is an investment in your future self. Discipline becomes easier when it becomes your identity. If you see yourself as disciplined, your actions naturally follow. The universe does not respond to temporary intentions, but to consistent habits. Move forward every day, even a little, and success will eventually appear. Chapter 33. The silence that creates. In a world of noise, distraction, and endless voices, few know the power of silence. Silence is not empty. It is space, fertile, creative, and powerful. In silence, ideas are born, intuition is heard, clarity emerges. Most people fear silence because it confronts them with themselves. They fill their lives with music, screens, and chatter. But creators, visionaries, and leaders seek silence because in silence, power speaks. Silence connects you to your subconscious and to infinite intelligence. It is where inspiration comes, where certainty grows, where doubts dissolve. Acting as if everything always works out also means creating space for silence. Just minutes each day of stillness can shift your energy and direction. Noise distracts, silence creates. And those who master silence master creation itself. Chapter 34. The power of intention. Nothing in the universe manifests without intention. Every success, every invention, every transformation begins with a directed thought, a clear purpose. Desire says, "I'd like this to happen." Intention says, "This will happen because I have decided." That decision releases energy, focus, and certainty. Acting as if everything always works out is living with intention. It is moving as if each step has meaning, as if your future is already in motion. The universe responds to clarity. When your intention is firm, your words, actions, and presence transmit that signal, and life reflects it back to you. Most fail not from lack of talent, but from lack of intention. They want many things but decide nothing with conviction. Their energy scatters, and so do their results. So define your main intention. State it clearly, feel it deeply. Align your actions with it, because intention is the seed, faith is the water, action is the growth, and persistence is the harvest. Chapter 35. The mirror of success. Life is a mirror. It reflects not what you wish, but what you are. Your current circumstances are the result of your dominant self-image. If you see yourself as small, unworthy, or incapable, life will reflect that back to you. But if you decide to see yourself as strong, deserving, and capable, the mirror changes. Acting as if everything always works out means consciously choosing the image you project inwardly, not the one shaped by your past, but the one demanded by your future. A mirror doesn't invent, it reflects. Life doesn't create your beliefs, it reveals them. That is why your self-talk, your repeated thoughts, your inner identity matter so much. Change the image inside, and the reflection outside must follow. It is law. So ask, what is my life reflecting right now, and what must I change within to create a new reflection? Because the mirror of success never lies. It shows you exactly who you believe you are. Chapter 36. Time is your ally. Many live as if time were against them. They complain about being too old, too young, or not starting soon enough. But the truth is, time is your greatest ally if you learn to use it. Every day is a seed. What you do today, even if small or invisible, will bear fruit tomorrow. Discipline, persistence, and faith may not show immediate results, but multiplied by time, they create the extraordinary. The impatient quit too soon. They plant a seed and expect a tree the next day. When nothing appears, they abandon it, never realizing the harvest was just ahead. Acting as if everything always works out means trusting time. It means continuing to act with faith, even when you cannot yet see the results. Because time amplifies whatever you sow: fear or faith, laziness or discipline, doubt or persistence. You are not late. You are not early. You are exactly on time. If you decide to begin today. Chapter 37. The Wealth of Service. True wealth is not only measured by what you accumulate, but by what you contribute. Every lasting success is built on service. When you give value, when you help, when you improve the lives of others, you create a flow that always returns multiplied. Life rewards service with abundance. But service does not mean sacrifice or forgetting yourself. It means using your gifts, talents, and ideas to solve problems, to inspire, to build. The greater your service, the greater your reward. Acting as if everything always works out is knowing you already have something to offer. You don't wait until you're rich or perfect to give. You start with what you have, where you are. The world pays in proportion to the value you provide. Want more? Give more. Want to receive at a higher level? Serve at a higher level. Because in the end, riches fade, but the impact of your service remains. Chapter 38. Nothing is impossible. The limits you believe in are not real. They exist only in your mind. Each time you say, "I can't," it is not reality speaking, but your conditioning. History is full of men and women who achieved what the world called impossible. They did not always have more resources or intelligence, but they had an unshakable conviction: this can be done, and I will do it. Acting as if everything always works out is living with that conviction. It is refusing to accept limits imposed by society, your past, or even your own doubts. It is telling yourself every day, nothing is impossible except what I refuse to try. Obstacles are not there to stop you, but to test your faith. Each time you persist, you prove you are ready, and what seemed impossible becomes real. The truth is simple. There is no impossible. There are only people who dare and people who quit. Chapter 39. The beginning of a new life. At any moment, you can begin again. You do not need to wait for tomorrow, next week, or perfect conditions. A new life begins the moment you decide it does. Your past does not define you. Your mistakes are not final. Your failures are lessons, not sentences. Everything until now was only preparation for what is coming. Acting as if everything always works out means deciding today that you are no longer who you were yesterday. It means aligning your thoughts, words, and actions with your future, not your past. Each new day is a blank page. You hold the pen. You can keep repeating the same story, or you can write a new one. The greatest power you have is the power to start again. And every time you do, you move closer to the life you truly desire. Chapter 40. The Final Secret. After all the principles, all the truths, all the laws, one final secret remains. Everything is already within you. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment. You don't need outside approval. You don't need to become someone else to start creating the life you desire. The final secret is simple but powerful. You are already ready. From the beginning, you have carried faith, desire, persistence, imagination, discipline, and the connection to infinite intelligence. This entire journey has only been a reminder of what was already inside you. Acting as if everything always works out for you is not pretending. It is recognizing your power. It is walking with certainty that the universe conspires in your favor and that every step is supported by a greater force. So stop waiting. Don't ask, will this work? Decide it already is. Don't ask, am I capable? Affirm that you are. Don't ask when. Will my time come? Know that your time is now. Because the truth is this: the final secret is you.